This one's going to be quick. I know I say that every time, and then it winds up being like 20 minutes. This one's going to be quick. This one is about, and I've been known this, I've even tried different things for, like, for example, nasal dilation when you sleep. Because if you can become more and more of a nose breather rather than a mouth breather, there's a slew of benefits, right? Also, if you have a deviated septum or you have obstruction in your nasal cavity that you can at some point rectify, whether it's some sort of surgery or, in some way to clear up the passages, you're probably going to get a lot of benefits from that. So until then, because that's pretty extreme, right? Obviously, it's probably going to work, but until then, what you could practice in the meantime, besides nasal dilation, especially when you go to sleep, because during that time, we're talking about hours, right? So when you're in a parasympathetic state, meaning like a very relaxed state, especially when you're not conscious, Killer, what up? What's going on, brother? That is probably the best time to capitalize off of it, So if you can have nasal dilation during that time, you're probably going to be best off. You'll be better off to capitalize during that parasympathetic state. So in the meantime, right, if we're not talking about surgery, we're not talking about some sort of way of using nasal dilation to clear the obstruction, you can do nasal humming, right? So when you hum, right, you can hum from your chest, from your throat, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about humming up here. So bring it from your diaphragm up, right? Like usually when you're trying to hit a note, when you're trying to sing, you want to bring it from your face down here, right? That's most ideal. But when you're humming for this purpose, we're talking about nitric oxide, right? And we're using nitric oxide as a means to heal. And if you look this up, you'll see there's a lot of benefits to nitric oxide boosting, right? So in this case, you use humming, you use nasal humming, bring it up from your diaphragm up to your nose and hum there. You'll actually feel it. Like if you, right, you can go from throat to more like face, but you want to bring it up here. And if you practice doing that, like ladies, especially if you do Kegels, then you already know you have some time. If you're working Kegels, then you can do this at the same time, which will actually help Kegel. You'll get double the strength. Oh, okay, Calvin. Thanks for the check-in. And that way you can knock two birds out with one stone, so to say, right? You can actually do two different exercises at the same time. So humming in sets will actually increase your nitric oxide. And again, you could check this out for yourself, right? Anything I say, you can Google it, you can do the research and find out. I'm in traffic right now, that's why I'm like looking around. But do the nasal humming, bring it up here, and do sets of it. And practice it over time. The same way, it's not just women could do Kegels, men could do Kegels too, right? It's not gonna happen overnight, right? We're talking about 2-3 months of consistency to be able, and this is with anything, right? Whether it's working out, whatever, nutrition, you're gonna take 3 months of time before you start noticing like good results. And it's the same thing with nasal humming. Do the research, you'll see that Once you do this consistently, you do it over time, you'll get a slew of benefits from it, right? Because nitric oxide, when you bring that up, you will get not just healing, but you'll fix a lot of issues in your body from the boost of nitric oxide. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I wanted to keep it as quick as possible. Otherwise, I'll be on and on and on until it's like 20 minutes, and then it's like, well, how do we get here? You know. So the beard took me like 6 years. You know, this most recent time. Ricky, what's up? ASAP, yes, 6 years. 6 years, the most recent time. And you know, it's a blessing. It's like Samson, right? From what they say, that was the strength. I never allowed anyone to talk me into cutting it, and that's where we're at right now. And I said this in a previous stream about how when I first started growing it, people were telling me every single reason as to why I should, you know, I should not grow my beard, or why it would be, you know, subject of racists out there, racist lovers out there, to be able to say, you know, this is why you shouldn't grow your beard. And no, it doesn't get caught in the blender. That would be crazy. How you even think about that, you know? Imagine it goes, nah, I got the cap on. Why would it go in the blender? That's crazy, bro. But nah, the cap, I just upgraded too. I got a Vitamix, and I just upgraded to the stainless steel. I'm so happy with that purchase. That was like, because I got rid of the plastic, and now I have the stainless steel. Psst, like they say, chef's kiss on that. Beautiful, you know? Other than that, yeah, no, I didn't take it that way. I didn't take it that way as far as like the beard is, you know, a race issue. You know, I don't really take anything in general as a race issue, unless it's just straight up like obvious, you know. But I do get a lot of religion as far as like, am I Muslim, or that comes out from time to time. There are also, you know, Jews, Sikhs, Rastafarians, Native Americans. There are a lot of different people that do rock certain hair and beard, you know. Sammy, what's up? How you doing? But other than that, yeah, I'm like a Rapunzel in reverse, right? Like, but then again, I have long hair too, so I guess I could be Rapunzel too when I braid it. But otherwise, like, listen, if y'all want to keep going, we could keep going, and we'll make this go on, because the point of the stream has been reached as far as the nasal thing. Oh, by the way, let me ask you a question, right? Yeah, of course you can. Like, what kind of a question is that, Sammy? If you want to like and subscribe, you know, listen, here's the thing about it, right? You're not ever going to hear me say like and subscribe. I'm not one of those people. I'm not that I don't, those people that's going to like constantly throw it at you to do so. If anyone wants to like and subscribe, this is in this world, this is a free world for you to do as you please. If you genuinely like and want to subscribe, of course, do so. You know, that would be awesome. But I'm not gonna be like, come on, like, everyone that checks in here knows how YouTube works, right? You know, if you like, then this is probably gonna get pushed to like more people, right? And the algorithm works a certain way. But we all know that, right? So it's like, if you want to do that, cool. If not, great. I'm just happy that you're checking in. And my question is, what should my workout be for the day? You know, like I'm just putting it out there. Like, what do you think I should do? You know, because I'm itching right now to go out there and do something. So what exactly? But I kind of want to, because I'm gonna do my Kegels. I'm gonna do my nasal humming. You know, I'm gonna do my sets of that. What? Because I'm kind of like leaning towards legs today, but I'm probably not gonna go to the gym. So I just want to do calisthenics out here. You know, I just want to do something quick, something possibly intense, get it done, and make it happen. You know, so let's see. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna go out there and knock it out. But if there are any suggestions, feel free, because I will knock it out. I was thinking, you know, maybe I'm like motivated by iShowSpeed. I felt like getting on a track. Like I've literally wanted to keep this on live. Go out there and like run a quarter mile. You know, because like on an outdoor track, that's a whole lap, right? I haven't done a quarter mile. Don't expect me to do iShowSpeed like performances, right? Because I'm super out of shape. You might see me looking ripped and like, you know, I could do whatever, pull-ups, etc., etc., etc. But I'm out of shape, trust. I get on that track and I do a quarter mile or a half mile. A half mile is 2 laps, right? And a mile is 4 laps. Quarter mile is 1 lap. So I do any one of those. Trust. If we got this on live and I keep it on live and I do a quarter mile or a half mile, you are gonna see me winded. And you know what? Honestly, I think that's the reason why it's not just his age, right? It's not the fact that he is young, but it's the fact that he's always sprinting, that like you get muscular development way faster because your fast twitch muscles are constantly being worked. And if you're constantly sprinting, it's not like he's doing long distance, you know, he's sprinting all the time. So a quarter mile or a half mile is long. So a sprint on the track would be like a straightaway, you know, it'd be like a 50, 55, or it would be like 100, you know, like it'd be half a straightaway or be a full straightaway. And I might do one of these. I might find a track, let's get it popping. Like that might just be what we make happen for the day, you know, instead of actually doing squats or like Bulgarian split squats or, you know, jump squats. I might just go out there, find the track, and we make it. What do you think? Like, find the track, go out there, and make it happen. And I think that's what we're going to do. But anyways, we're already going towards 15 minutes. Crazy. I thought this was going to be quick, but I do appreciate everyone checking in. And I'm going to end here. And if I find the track, especially if it's lit up, I'm going to go out there and I might I'll keep it on live or I'll just record it and show. I don't know if I'm going to do a 50, 100. A quarter mile is long, you know. A half mile is crazy. So we'll see. If I find the track, it's lit up, I think I'm going to either record it or put it on live, and we'll see. And we'll do it later on, you know. So that's it for now. And if you see a third live later on today, it's going to be on the track. And now I'm like amped to find the track. We'll see what happens. So catch y'all later. Thanks for checking in.